2019 Audi SQ5, and today I'm going to give you an overview of the exterior and interior features, and I'm going to take it for a drive. This is Audi's mid-size SUV here, so it is 183.6 inches long and a wheelbase of 111 inches, and this high-performance variant, the SQ5, is actually a little bit wider than the regular Q5, so this one is 74.5 inches wide. Audi has always been known for some of the coolest looking headlights, especially I think so. These are no exception. This is some of their latest LED technology. This car was completely redesigned last year, so this is all new stuff. We have a full LED turn signal, LED daytime running lights, and LED lights, high beam and low beam. As we come along the side here, we also have a light here in the mirror housing, and because this is an SQ5 model, it's an S model, Audi has given it the silver finish on the top of the mirror caps. That's something they've always done on S models. And then coming around to the back, we have some very cool action with the taillights, also full LED. We get the nice strip that goes along here. This is something they've been doing with, I think, every model that they've redesigned in the last maybe 3 years or so. They've given it these taillights that the strip goes across like that. I think that's a really cool feature. I mean, lots of other automakers are always playing catch up with Audi, trying to get some cool taillights and headlights, but I think they're always on top. We also have these very nice S-line illuminated door sills, as well as from the door coming down here we have the Audi 4 Rings logo projected onto the ground. Alright, let's go around and talk about exterior build quality, panel gaps on this car. Overall, I am very impressed. Even on the hood, we have a very small gap. I always like to look at the 3 gaps here on the doors. 1, 2, 3. They are almost exactly the same size. I think that's really cool. Very tight gap between rear fender and bumper. Smooth, even on both sides. Yeah, very even on both sides for the tailgate. Again, large gap with the bumper, but that's to be expected. And we go around to the other side, we have gap here, gap here, gap here. These are like exactly the same size. This is some really excellent. This is some really excellent fitment of the panels all the way around the car. I'm most impressed with on the hood. They kind of have this design that comes out over the fender a little bit, and it really cleans up the look. This gives it kind of an aggressive look, and the fitment is excellent. This Audi SQ5 has some very nice 20-inch wheels. These are clad in 255/45 all-season tires. This car does have a power tailgate, so we'll go ahead and take a look in here. With the seats up here, we have 25.1 cubic feet of cargo volume. I think that's quite a lot. Something interesting that we have in here, we have these nice little LED lights on both sides. That's a rather unique feature. And then also under here, we do have a spare tire. Then to get more cargo volume, you can get up to 53.1 cubic feet when you fold the seats down. They do not fold down electronically, but there is a release back here you can pull, and the seat goes down. So fold it down like that, and if you fold the other ones down, you can get up to 53.1 cubic feet of volume. And also, it's nice, there's a latch up here as well where you can adjust, where you can let the seats fall down. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. Here we have a turbocharged 3-liter V6. This replaces the supercharged 3-liter V6 across Audi's lineup. This is a fairly new engine, and I think it's up there with some of the best turbo V6s on the market right now. It makes, in this application, 349 horsepower at 5,400 RPM, and it makes 369 pound-feet of torque all the way down at 1,370 RPM. So another interesting feature here is that we have two separate hood releases. So when you're releasing the hood, you're actually not touching those. Let's also look over here at the engine computer. This is a Bosch Motronic. This is what the Volkswagen Group uses on pretty much all their vehicles. And I thought it was funny. We got a nice sticker on there that only says Volkswagen, doesn't say Audi. So I thought that was funny. So this engine is good enough to made it to the 8-speed Tiptronic. It is good enough to bring it to 60 in 5.1 seconds, which is pretty quick for a vehicle of this size. And the EPA rates it at 19 miles per gallon in the city, 24 on the highway for a combined of 21. Now let's go ahead and step into the interior. I think it's very nice, and we will go ahead and start it up. This car has a beautiful interior that I think is very refined and very elegant. These seats are really comfortable, and they have this gorgeous diamond quilting all up and down. I'm really a huge fan of quilted leather, and this certainly gets the job done. We hear in the background there, that's a Volkswagen Golf R. And then, yeah, so we have a nice S badge here. And these seats have a adjustable extension here on the bottom, like so, and just the standard adjustments. Nothing else is overly adjustable. Bolsters are fixed, top and bottom, and manually adjustable headrests. This car has some very nice sun visors. They're pretty small, but I do like the fact that we can get this feature where they can pull back. You don't get this on every car, so that's a nice touch. So this car, because it has the Premium Plus package, it is equipped with Audi's latest virtual cockpit. We got some very cool stuff up here. So there's this display mode where you have the big central gauge, says SQ5, remind you that you got the high performance version. But you can also switch here to this mode, which has a navigation in the big screen here, and you have your RPM and your speed at the bottom. You can also change, I don't know why we would want to show something other than this. In my opinion, this is pretty cool. You can also like show the media, you can show what's on the radio, and you can show this information about fuel consumption and trip information, I guess. Then you do get this nice boost meter. Doesn't have the PSI, but it says min max. That's pretty cool. I think you can get that though in the in this view. Yeah, here it is down here. We have we have our boost. Pretty cool. And then we can still move all this stuff over here. But I think having the navigation there is pretty cool. What about the right side? Can we do that? No. Okay. Moving over here, basically you have all the same functionality here, plus you have all of the usual Audi MMI features. So you can go out, you can check out all the different areas, radio, media, sound, so on. And then here is where you get the vehicle stuff. So here we have the Audi Drive Select. We see all the different modes here: off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. You can also do vehicle settings, driver assistance. I believe this car is only equipped with Audi Side Assist, which is their blind spot monitoring system. This does not have adaptive cruise control, and you can get into all this. There's a lot of stuff in here, so I won't go into too much detail. Moving down, we have very nice climate control area, a nice little screen here where we, if you just kind of rest your finger on these controls, but you don't actually push the button, you can see where it's going to take you. So look at that. AC max on off. So I'm not pushing these buttons. I'm just kind of touching them very lightly. That's very cool. Down here you have your drive select, so you can go between the different drive modes. Auto start stop, traction control off, parking sensors, hill descent control, and then this button here, if you want to turn off the screen up there, you can do that. Down here we have Audi's latest system for that they have in their SUVs for controlling the whole infotainment system. We have the knob, which I think works very well, and then these 4 different corners. So kind of there's a theme up on the infotainment screen where there will be an option in each of the 4 corners of the screen, and you just simply select the corner, say top right, you just push this one up or push this one down for bottom. Same on this side. We also have, this is a trackpad, so if you're entering something into the navigation, you can literally go like this, squiggle a letter on here, and it will, with surprising accuracy, and I have terrible handwriting by the way, this will be able to pick up your information that you want to put into the navigation. Then up here we have the drive selector. It's not actually mechanically connected to anything, and so that's a little weird. Also, you have to push this little button on the side to get anything done, and then there is no actual park position. You just push this button to get into park, and then we have the parking brake right here. Then right on here, this is a wireless charging tray for your phone. So if you have a phone that works with wireless charging, you got that. And then in here we got some storage space, but not too much. Just as a side note here, from the main menu in the MMI system, you can scroll down here to Audi smartphone interface, and that's where you have your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto. Here we have in the glove box, it's decent size. You can get more stuff in here other than the owner's manual. And then we also have up here, this is where the CD player is, so you can put in your CD as well as SD cards for memory, and you have a spot for the SIM card. This car does have available LTE connectivity, which you can have as a wireless hotspot for yourself. All right, let's check out the back seat here. We have very ample leg room. I left the seat in the same position. I'm 6'1". It's not an issue for me to sit back here. Plenty of headroom as well. Overall, these seats are on the more comfortable side for back seats. Often you'll find that even luxury automakers will skimp out a little bit on the comfort in the back seats. Got adjustable headrests. Now in the center console here, we got some very neat pop-out cup holders. Check this out. You can get some very small drinks in here. That's about it. I can't imagine any regular cup that would be able to fit in there. That's pretty funny. We also have down here rear climate vents, and we have a separate climate zone so you can control the temperature here. Also, we have these 2 USB charge ports. They say charge only. I guess that's to remind you that you can't operate the Apple CarPlay through these ports. All right, it's time to talk about quality. Very solid. So overall, material quality throughout this car is very good. We have some excellent leather. This is the Audi Fine Nappa leather. This is their mid-tier leather option. These seats are rotor gray with anthracite stitching. So we have, coming along here, we have some very nice carbon trim. This stuff is called Carbon Atlas. As far as I can tell, this is real carbon fiber. Nice aluminum door handles. I don't like this grab handle for the driver is plastic. This is not leather wrapped. Leather wrapped armrest though. And then we have these kind of hybrid buttons here. So they're very nice. They're plastic. Who are we kidding? These are very nice window controls. But they have this metallic edge here, and then they're plastic on the edge. Also see this nice knurled knob for controlling the position of the mirrors, as well as the automatic folding in of the mirrors. Coming along this way, all the buttons on the steering wheel are excellent. The feel of the steering wheel is great. I love that this is a flat bottom steering wheel on the S model. Also got another S-line badge there for you. Also, the screen is very high resolution. Much in my experience, this is the best screen right now at the time that I'm filming. Also coming along here, I'm surprised they put such standard looking climate control vents in this car. But they are very solid. They don't move around. Knobs, great to feel. Coming down here, I love these switches, especially because you can just kind of lightly put your finger on them, see what happens. But when you push them, very strong click. These knurled knobs as well for the climate control, very nice, very good click when you twist them. Also here we can control the heated seats. I mean, just a regular button. Down here, I really wish they had continued these metallic buttons down to the bottom here. These are still very nice to push, but they don't look quite as nice. Knob down here is a little bit smaller than it is on some other Audi models, so it doesn't feel quite as hefty, but it's still a very nice textured, knurled around the edge, and very nice material on top. My biggest issue with this interior is this whole black area here is some kind of plastic that feels very out of place. Other than that, beautiful carbon fiber trim, another knurled knob. Can't get enough knurling. I love it. And yeah, look at this. Even the plug for the cigarette lighter is knurled. Look at that. They really done a good job there. And then coming back here, this is all solid stuff. We also have a very nice soft touch material here. This is very solid. Some other automakers, when you feel the upper dashboard material, it's not quite as nice. And it continues out along onto the doors here, all around the vehicle. It's not like you're going to get plastic on the doors in the back seat. It's the same in the back as it is in the front. Also, yes, there is Alcantara trim just inside this little panel here on the door. That's the only place where it is. So I like that they didn't go crazy with the Alcantara in this car. Audi has done that with some of their S models. Personally, I do not. I think it's nice, but I do not like it used too much. So there's just a little bit of it right there. I think it's a nice touch. All right, driving the Audi SQ5. This is definitely got some nice sound being pumped in here. I don't know if it's really the engine or we got something going on with the speakers, but when I have it in sport or dynamic mode right now, and you can really hear the engine. We've also got paddle shifters here. They're very, very responsive, very quick. Oh, you hear that? We got a little crackle pop action. Let's do that again. Oh, that's some good stuff. Now, I don't know how the rides is exceptionally smooth, especially for one of these taller, for a performance SUV. A lot of these performance SUVs, like the Porsche Macan, the BMW X3 M40i, the Mercedes GLC 43 AMG, those are the main competitors of this car. A lot of those can have a very harsh ride at times because the suspension is long travel, but it is still it's long travel suspension, but they're trying to make it stiff so the car will handle well. So you can get kind of a harsh ride out of this. I think this is a very nice ride, considering that this is geared toward performance. Alright, I got it in comfort mode now. I'm going to go ahead and get up onto the freeway here. Obviously no trouble getting up to highway speeds. A lot of torque from this turbocharged engine here. that. Here we are. It's really quiet in here. Definitely, I mean, we're in an SUV. There's a little bit more wind noise than if we were in a sedan, but tire noise is very quiet. Wind noise is very quiet. When we're in comfort, it sounds like we have less noise coming from the engine. I think this could be a very nice highway cruiser that gets a lot more fun when you put it in sport mode. The brakes are it's a pretty firm brake pedal. Don't have to push it that much to get a lot of brake. Still easy to stop smoothly though. So with the dynamic select in this car, you have your comfort mode, your dynamic mode, and so on. So in this car, it does not have the S Sport package, so you do not get the air suspension, which will raise and lower according to what mode you're in. This, all it does is changing the electric power steering, and it changes the engine and transmission response. I noticed that in comfort mode, the steering is exceptionally light. There's almost no feedback whatsoever, and you can move it with a finger. But in sport mode, dynamic mode, it really dramatically changes the steering to something that's much more reasonable. What I would do is use the individual mode and maybe set the engine on comfort and the steering on sport, because I think that without that, the steering is very light in this car, and it's almost too light. All right, this car does have a launch control feature, so I'm going to go ahead and test that out. I am in dynamic mode, and I'm going to go ahead and hold down the traction control off button until it turns all the way off. There we go. Depress the brake pedal firmly, give it some gas, and build boost. Here we go. Now that's a pretty cool feature, right?